Hey everybody, today we've got an alternate history for you, but this is an extra special video because recently on this channel we did hit 1,000 subscribers, so as a small way to celebrate, I'm going to do an alternate history. I don't normally like to do these. I think there's just way too much guessing. Don't find it to be all that fun, but there's a lot of requests for alternate histories, so I'm going to do this one. But I do have to take just a moment to express the gratitude for all the subscribers, all the likes, all the shares, all the comments, all the votes on the community polls. All of that combined finally got the channel over 1,000. Took a long time, well over a year, well over 600 videos. It's not easy to do all this, especially in my spare time, and especially getting zero revenue from all of the effort. Maybe that'll change. Maybe there'll be a way to join the channel coming up. Can always expand, try new things as we get more viewers, more subscribers. I get a lot of suggestions. I try to get to a bunch of them, but of course there's just so many that come in. I either have to skip some of them or I'm going to have to wait 2 or 3 months to get around to them. Who knows what's going to happen. I'm planning on keeping the channel going, and as I always say, we'll see what happens. So again, thanks a bunch, and let's get to this alternate history. This time we've got 2020, and we've got Joe Biden for the Democrats, but this time we're going to swap out Donald Trump for John Kasich, former governor of Ohio. He was in there for 2 terms. He was popular at least up until he started to push back against Trump. So first, let's put up the actual Wikipedia results from 2020. We've got Joe Biden at 306 electoral votes, 25 states plus DC plus Nebraska second, over 81 million votes. That's good enough for 51.3% of the popular vote. The results for Trump were 232 electoral votes. He carried 25 states, plus he got Maine second, over 74 million votes, and that comes out to 46.8% of the popular vote. So like with a lot of hypotheticals, a lot of alternate histories, there's a lot of different routes you could take, and you're going to put more or less emphasis on different factors, and that's going to sway some of these states, possibly even the outcome. Now, this wasn't that long ago, so we should be able to have some sort of idea of how John Kasich would do. Now, maybe if Kasich was the nominee, you might think he beat Donald Trump in a primary, and then Trump is scorned, and he tries to sabotage Kasich, and that hurts him by another 5 points. Or maybe Donald Trump never even runs for re-election, and there's a ton of support for Kasich, no contentious primary, and then he does much better. So there's kind of 2 extremes. I'm going to try to go down the middle with it like I always do, but one factor I am going to consider is COVID is still happening, and Donald Trump was president through January 2021, and his disapprovals with COVID were very high. He did get good approvals on the economy, but I'm still going to assume that a lot of voters are dissatisfied with the pandemic conditions, and they're going to hold the Republican Party accountable, even if it's Kasich in there and not Trump. So with all that exposition, let's go through these states. Let's go to Alaska. Trump won it by 10. I think Kasich would do a little bit better. It's going to be safe for Kasich. Hawaii, safe for Biden. Now we go to the West Coast. Washington, Oregon, California, nothing to change there, safe for Biden. Nevada, Trump lost it by a couple of points. I think Kasich would probably do similar. It's going to go leans for Biden. Idaho and Utah, safe for Kasich. Down in Arizona, this one will flip. It's going to go to Kasich. They don't like Trump or the anti-establishment candidates. Kasich would win this by at least a 1 or 2 point leans margin. Montana, Wyoming, safe for Kasich. Colorado, it's going to get a little bit closer, but it's still going to be by over 10, safe for Biden. New Mexico, that will get down under 10 this time, probably still high single digits, likely for Biden. North and South Dakota, safe for Kasich. Nebraska at large, safe for Kasich. The 2nd District, it's going to get a little bit closer, but it's still going to be at least 1 point. Leans for Biden. Kansas, Oklahoma, safe for Kasich. Down in Texas, I could see Kasich doing 1 or 2 points better. Could be a 7 or 8 point margin, likely for Kasich. Now we go up to Minnesota. Kasich again, I think he would do a little bit better here, but I still think it would be by around a 5 point margin, so it's going to be likely for Biden. Iowa, still over 5, likely for Kasich. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, safe for Kasich. Now we go up to Wisconsin. Biden won this by less than 1 point. I think it could shift anywhere from a 0.5 point to 1 point toward Kasich. So this is right on the line, but eventually I put it as a tilt toward Kasich. Illinois, safe for Biden. Now we've got Michigan. Now Kasich is from nearby Ohio. I think he could do maybe about a point better than Trump. Not enough to flip the state, so it's still going to go leans for Biden. Indiana, safe for Kasich. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. Red states, safe for Kasich. Now we've got Florida. Trump won this by about 3.5. enough, I think everything would even out and it would still go leans for Kasich. Now we've got Georgia, one of the famous states that Trump narrowly lost. If it's Kasich over Trump, again, I think he would do slightly better, probably at least a point, but it could even be 2 or more. I think that would be enough to give this to Kasich by a lean margin. South Carolina, safe for Kasich. Now we've got North Carolina. This I think would be very narrow. It's not going to be much of a change, but I do have it going as a tilt toward Kasich. Now we've got John Kasich's home state of Ohio. This was the only state he actually won in the 2016 primary, and I think he would get a bit of a bump. I think it would clear 10 points, so it's going to be safe for Kasich. Next door to West Virginia, safe for Kasich. Now we go up to Maine at large. That's going to be likely for Biden. The first district will not be as wide for Biden this time, but he's still going to get it by a safe margin. The second district, that's the redder district. It's still going to go to Kasich, but it's going to be by a narrower lean margin. Now we've got New Hampshire. That's going to be more narrow. That's going to be leans for Biden. Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. Nothing's going to change here. All safe for Biden. Now we've got Pennsylvania. Again, Kasich is from nearby Ohio. Maybe it helps him slightly, maybe it doesn't. I think he would do very slightly better than Trump did, probably by about a half a point. It could flip, but I have it as under 1 point tilt for Biden. And the last state is Virginia, and that's going to get under 10 this time, likely for Biden. So there's your final total, and it looks like that comes out to a 269-269 tie. Those are rare, but it looks like it would go to the U.S. House. And then that would be the House with these two candidates, not the House that we actually got in 2020. So it might not be satisfying, but it looks like there's really no clear winner here. So let's talk a little bit more about this. Well, John Kasich basically became a never Trump Republican. I don't think he went as far as Liz Cheney. So there's two main trade-offs: the working class vote in the Rust Belt and suburban voters. So in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, a lot of those really deep red counties and voters that went from Obama to Trump, Kasich is not going to get the same margin Trump would have gotten. But to offset it, in the suburbs, he's going to make up some ground there. Enough of those voters were animated to come out and purely vote against Donald Trump. They're not going to do that for Kasich. So it's a delicate balancing act that does benefit Kasich in Arizona and Georgia. There's enough vote in the suburbs there that were a problem for Trump, probably going to be less of a problem for Kasich. And Trump voters are going to be upset with Kasich. He was out there attacking the guy that they love. Enough of them are going to stay home out of spite. But again, the anti-Trump vote would plummet. He would gain voters in the suburbs. I think this would be pretty much a coin flip. It's going to be harder for Biden and the media to go after Kasich, but I'm sure he would still get smeared because he's a Republican anyway. But Kasich is not really all that exciting, even though he's from the Rust Belt state of Ohio. He just did not have the right rhetoric, the right policy positions of the Trump base. He should have taken the Glenn Youngkin route and not openly embraced Trump, but did not want to alienate his base. He didn't do it. I don't know how it would actually go. I think it would be extremely narrow either way. There's different routes you could take. Overall, I think Kasich would do 1 to 2 points better across most of the states. In the national popular vote, he would probably get about 47 to 48%. Biden would probably get about 49 to 50. The third party vote is anybody's guess. So again, thank you for all the support, all the feedback, and also your patience with how long it takes to get some of these videos done. And I hope you understand why some of these videos with so much speculation, I don't really want to do with any frequency. I think there's other fun videos we do like the coin flips and the spinner battles. But that's it for this one. Let me know in the comments, how do you think this matchup would go? Do you think Kasich got the Trump base so mad that he would actually do another 2 or 3 points worse than this and it would cost him the election? Or do you think he has so much appeal for independents and suburban voters that Kasich would easily win this election? How do you think the campaign strategies would change? How much do you think COVID plays a role in this? What do you think Donald Trump would do if he wasn't the nominee? You could go on and on and on about this. Let me know your thoughts down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Twitter. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.